guys and your perspective. What's going on, Wani? I see you up in the spot as well too. How you doing tonight? Like I say, everybody, we saw Van Jones put out a little statement about Black Americans, and I guess he's not the actual spokesman for Black people. So always glad to hear what people got to say about that. Somehow Van Jones, he must be running low on that $100 million he got from Jeff Bezos because the boy kind of disappeared for a little bit and he came back in the scene. So I guess it's time to go ahead and get some more cheese up. This time he's talking to Jewish community. I don't know what the hell Van was talking about either with that little apology. Only thing I'm surprised is that he didn't start choking up crying like he normally does. Because whenever he gets on TV, he's got to take his glasses off and wipe the tears out his eyes because he's always crying and stuff like that. So I don't know what Van Jones was talking about, but we're gonna dig in on that. Like I said, we're gonna talk about Van Jones and we're gonna talk about some of these racist incidents that's taking place on these college campuses here in America. They don't really get the national attention in the media news that it deserves, but we want to go ahead and we want to talk about that tonight too. So let me give a shout out to Wani. Let me give a shout out to Cognitive. Let me give a shout out Simply, Miss Giselle, uh, Val. I see you came up in here. Dawn, Cassandra, FBA1. We're gonna get this thing rolling, y'all. We're gonna get it rolling. We're gonna get it going. And I know, Wani, I know you probably want to dig in on the Van Jones thing as well, too. So what's up, Queen B? Yeah, we got to talk about this. I don't know. I mean, why do they always put Black men on TV that cry all the time at that too? Like, I mean, I can see if it was something traumatic happened or whatever. Brothers ain't above crying or whatever. But whenever anything happens, and I heard that he was just kicking his heels last night because Raphael Warnock won. Like, you couldn't tell him it wasn't the second coming. So we'll see what Raphael does in the next 6 years here in office. Republicans should have knew better. Trump kind of blew that one for the Republicans. He should not have endorsed Herschel Walker, and that came back to bite them majorly. A lot of his people that he was clamoring for, they got beat in these midterms. What's going on to my girl Miss Diane on YouTube verse? How you doing, Miss Diane? How you doing? Since we got people coming in, man, why wait? Let's go ahead and get this thing jumping and rolling. Get it started. Get to our main thing we want to talk about tonight. Like I said, we're going to cover also the white nationalism that's running rampant on these college campuses as well too. So if you guys have any stories that you hear about it as well, please by all means feel free to chime in. Quick article from Real Clear Politics, curated on Newstoter. Title was Van Jones to Jewish groups. I apologize for the silence of my community on Kanye West. They not gonna let this thing die down here. Van Jones apologized on behalf of Black people for their silence over Kanye West's recent praise of Hitler and Nazis in a speech at the United Jewish Appeal Federation in New York. Van Jones apologized to the Jewish community for the silence of my community allowing an African-American icon praising Hitler and Nazis. And we act like we don't know where that hatred came from. The silence is over, Jones said. We feel awful as long as we're turning against each other, Jones says. We feel awful, but when we come together, we're awesome, and we're going to be awesome together. The reason this country is a democracy at all is because Black and Jewish people have loved each other and helped each other and supported each other and stood up for each other, Jones said. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was just short. They had a video of it. Lord, this Twitter thing, what are we doing? What are we doing with the Twitter spaces? Yeah, y'all, the Twitter space was trying to go out on me there, y'all. It was trying to happen yesterday. Twitter down space was trying to go out. So I'm going to go ahead and get you, let you come in and speak. Professor, I know you was requesting too, so let me go ahead. I don't know what the hell been going on with the Twitter spaces lately. I had to reconnect real quick. But Wani, go on and let us hear your opinion on Van Jones. He's talking about all this great love affair that the Black and Jewish community got together and how we're the reason for democracy and we're the reason for all the good things that happen in this country and that we must come together and this and that. And maybe I missed it. You go ahead and explain it for the family, please.
Oh, who, me?
Oh, I saw you had your hand up. You got your hand up? Yeah, because my for a second I had lost I had actually lost the connection in the actual Twitter space and I had to reconnect real quick. Wow. But yeah, everything went black and I had to get back in here and reconnect real quick. But no, just Van Jones, just your opinion that Van Jones is saying that because of black and Jewish people that we've loved each other and this and that, and because of our union basically and our support of each other that we've been able to pretty much help this country with real democracy. I just want to kind of
I have never experienced that period that he's talking about where we were together helping each other. That's not my experience. But what I want to say is that when he made the Hitler comments, everybody was shocked. Nobody was silent. Everyone down the whole comments line, black, white, or otherwise, could not believe what he was saying, could not believe the symbols he was putting up. So to say that we were silent on it, we were not silent. Everyone spoke out against that and did not think that was cool at all. But it reminds me of when Charles Barkley was saying that Black American communities are homophobic. And it's like we have the only community that supports the LGBT in the universe. Like, what other community has provided them multiple uh, ways to thrive within our communities all across the United States of America? There's places for them to have a good time and to have their own, sub communities within our communities. I know of several since I've been alive. That's a lie. And when you say, well, which community is treating them good, then they have no comment. And the same thing with this, to rely on us as a black community when we had the same response as everyone else that heard the Hitler comments. It was the identical response. No one could understand it. People thought he needed meds or whatever. And he just lied on us. And he speaks for himself. He doesn't speak for black Americans.
yeah, literally nobody sat up here and co-signed anything that Kanye West was saying. Everybody was sitting up here shaking their head or whatever. Nobody's I mean, you don't have black people just going in on the Jewish community and whatnot. And I don't know what Van Jones is talking about, all this unity as well, too. Black people, they haven't had any issues with Jewish people, but we've never been the best of friends. So I don't know exactly what he's coming along with this and that, and how our union and we've helped with democracy and all this other kind of stuff. To me, that was a head scratcher. Like I said, you rarely even hardly see Van Jones. He pops up every now and then. Once he got that 100 million from Jeff Bezos, he'll come out when it's election time. I know he was kicking his heels with Raphael Warnock winning and stuff like that last night. But to sit up here and too many times, like you mentioned, Charles Barkley, and the way Charles Barkley was sitting up here talking about basically we're the ones who bully the LGBTQ, when, as you say, we've had a number of icons that was LGBTQ that we love to this day. So I mean that been revered. Black people have never been the ones that was doing this this conversion therapy and stuff like that. Pretty much let live and die. Do are there comedians and people like that crack jokes about the LGBTQ? I mean, just like every other group, yeah. But I mean, to sit up here and try to single us out all the time is the ones that's really the bullies and the ones that are keeping up all of the racist stuff and the bias stuff. I can't co-sign that. I can't go along with that. Van Jones, I wonder what his ulterior motive really is. He sat up there in front of this big Jewish group, and he went up there and he's pretty much like a lot of these other black boule people. He's sitting up here trying to denounce black people, and black people didn't sit up here and just say anything. Black people were really upset about Kyrie Irving because they felt Kyrie Irving just all he did was tweet out something and he got railroaded. But you didn't hear any black people coming out, really any major black people coming out defending Kanye West's actions. So for him to sit up here and talk about we were silenced and this and that, and you hear this all the time. Like it's like Charles Barkley, he said the same thing with the NBA players on Kyrie Irving. You're not silenced. Like you're trying to shame black people to just doing whatever you want to do, basically. Professor, what's going on tonight, man? How you doing? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody in the space? Newstoter, as always, brother. Thank you for bringing one of the best spaces on this app. No doubt about it. Ray, good to see you, brother. And I see Miss Ronnie up in here. Good to see her. Sister Tony, Sister Only Mary Cruz, that Sister Trouble up in here. And I see Sister Gazelle here, Sister Val, Goddess Michelle. Everybody, I hope everybody's doing great. Look here, one of the things, y'all, that I have gotten so sick of is that we have our own people or people that look like us, because some of them don't be black Americans. Some of them are the other black immigrants. But we got people that look like us that keep getting on TV or going into certain spaces apologizing for us or trying to say that we are a group that's picking or bullying on somebody. Now, nobody is talking about what's going on with the racism against Black Americans. See, nobody's addressing all the hatred and the resentment that's being heaped upon us daily. Daily. All kinds of hate being thrown our way. Nobody's talking about that, but everybody wants to get over here and hate for white supremacy and Jewish people. Okay? Which, by the way, they're fraud. Okay, I don't mind saying they are damn fraud, because the real Hebrews are us, Black Americans. That's who the Hebrews are. But let me say this. I'm tired of these people that look like us trying to say that we are the ones that are the problem. But they're not addressing the stuff that's happening to us. Nobody wants to talk about our issue, but they want to cape for other groups. Now, these coons, we have to start getting on their asses, everybody. Remember, I said to y'all in a previous space, right here in Newstoter space, that we have to start going after people that come on TV and dog us out or try to make our group look bad. Van Jones, you have just started something, my friend. As soon as we can find out anything for us, how we can get in contact with who you work with or whatever you're doing, we're going to contact those people. We're going to email them and let them know that you have set up here and insulted Black America. You sit here and put something on us that we do not do. We're not being racist toward any groups. We're not bullying any other groups. But we are the ones being bullied. We are the ones that people keep fucking with. We the ones that everybody wants to keep putting our names in their fucking mouth, including the son of a bitches over in Russia. Now y'all hear this shit? We got people over in Russia throwing our names up in their mouth. 7,000, 8,000 miles away. This tell you how crazy this shit is. And that shithead over there, that's a so-called dictator, that's why he shitted on himself, because he blaming up our damn name. Now, you can't be bringing up our name and lying on us and then flipping around trying to say that we causing you problems over there, that we causing your people to commit suicide, which I don't give a damn if they are. Those neo-Nazis and the Ukrainians over there, they want to kill each other or commit suicide, go ahead. Jump off the damn bridge in the name of Black America. There you go. If that's what you want to do, jump on off, neo-Nazis. Also, as far as you, Putin, go keep shitting on yourself for bringing up our name. But folks, we got to make these people accountable for bringing up our names. And Van Jones, being that you are Black, you are on our list, my brother. You had no right to be apologizing and trying to say that we are anti-Semitism, that we being silent, that we're the problem. No, man, we got people coming at us, bullying us, and you need to speak the truth when you talk about Black America, baby. I'm gonna land my plane there.
I think I saw earlier today, Miss Giselle. Miss Giselle, did you have an article today? And I didn't get a chance to read it. I just saw the headline where it said something from the Washington Times or one of those Washington newspapers about the rise of the Black anti-Semitic or Semitism or something. It's something about the rise of the Black anti-Semite or whatever. And it's just that kind of stuff that they're just putting fuel to the fire when you start saying this kind of stuff right here. Now you got Black faces in high places. And I don't know if Van Jones is still on CNN. I don't think he is. Once he got that money, he got that $100 million. Like I say, he pretty much done took it and ran. But you're starting to have these Black people sitting up here saying this kind of thing like that, which, you know, that's just what white people really want to hear anyways. Because like I say, if you can make Black people the face of racism in this country, then that means racism is no longer a problem. And it's a discussion that doesn't really need to even take place anymore. So you got to be careful with this right here. That's the whole thing, is how can we stop talking about racism? Oh, let's just say that Black people are really the racists in the country. And once we say that, then we don't have to worry about addressing it anymore, because really that problem isn't even worth talking about. Trouble, go ahead, and then I'm gonna get to you, Don. How you doing tonight, Trouble?
I'm doing all right. Shout out to everybody in the group. One love, one love. So So you already know how I feel about Toga. And Professor hit it dead on the head. It doesn't make a difference what happens in this country. They want black people to be the face of it. If there can be white people doing some stuff to some Asians, but as soon as a black person does it, here come the think pieces and all of the Negroes that they set in place coming on TV talking about, oh, what a black community, we need to stop this anti-Asian, this Asian hate. If somebody does something to the LGBT community, they'll wait till somebody black does the same exact thing, and here come the bootlegs back out again. Once again, they want us to be the face of everything, regardless of who is doing it more. It is quite, it's predictable at this point, and it's pretty much blatant. Mark Lamont Hill rushed out and said some stuff. He even clicked like on some posts, and then he turned around and posted a post saying, well, he should have did his research first, so he deleted the video or the comment that he made towards it. But I'm looking at the article of what exactly it was that Banjo said, if you don't mind me reading a few seconds of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So he says, I am going to start off with an apology. I'm going to start off with an apology for the silence of my community and for the speech of my profession. When we were hit as the black community with appalling anti-black bigotry and racism that the whole world saw on video, we expected and insisted that everyone stand and roar back against that hatred, and people did. By the tens of millions, people marched in a pandemic. By the tens of millions, non-black people to say, we will not accept this sort of racism, this sort of violence, this sort of hatred on this planet. People march by the millions. And yet, as this wave of hatred has been building against your community, we have rationalized over and over again, responding with not a roar, but often with barely a squeak, and sometimes a shrug. I want to slap this fool in his goddamn face and drag him by his throat. I am so sick of them trotting out these sissified, pussified little punks that want to kiss up to white booty so bad because they want a position inside of their media. It is so disgusting at this point. It's really disgusting at this point. And Todd, I know I don't want to keep up a long time. Could I play something just right quick?
Go ahead.
That a sister said. Never confuse leading blacks and black leaders. That's that on that.
Absolutely, sister. And I can't disagree with anything she's saying. Like I say, Van Jones, you rarely even see Van Jones ass once he got that money. He got that money. You don't see Van Jones on CNN. They'll trot him out every so often. He got that $100 million. He's sitting, he's chilling. Why Jeff Bezos gave him $100 million? I don't know. I don't know exactly know what I guess it's supposed to be for whatever it is, for whatever undeserved communities and this and that or whatever. But you rarely ever see Van Jones. He comes out every so often. When he comes out, he's either crying or he's saying something stupid. Don,
that's what he got the money for, so he can come out at will. When they snap their fingers, he's supposed to come out and cry Jimmy on the spot. And that's what that bald head, Mr. Planner, peanut head sucker is doing. He coming out crying Jimmy on the spot. Oh, So it's for you and the black community. Oh, y'all, Lord have mercy.
Real talk. Real talk. Gonna go ahead and we're gonna kick it to you, Don. How you doing tonight, Don?
What's up, family?
What's
You know
going?
what I'm saying? With the whole Van Jones thing, Van Jones is getting set up just the same way Bill Cosby got set up, the same way that Kanye got set up. But first, they let you talk about black people. You know what I'm saying? Then they alienate you. That alienates you from your community. Now, Van Jones, like just the way, you know what I'm saying, certain people on YouTube say, you're alienated from your own grassroots community. You know what I'm saying? You're alienated now. Now we're looking at you like, oh, we can't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been said, a fool and his money, you know the rest. They know he got $100 million. Everybody's itching at him. So, you know what I'm saying? All the people who were in that room, they want a piece of that money. You know what I'm saying? He don't understand it was a setup. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even understand it. So when he goes back to his, you know what I'm saying, back to his mansion, to wherever he's at, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to hear from the people. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't understand that he's been set up. And when he falls, you know we ain't gonna be there for him. We're gonna be twiddling our thumbs, looking away. Same way when Kanye falls, we're gonna be looking away. And the same way, and the bad thing that we did was let Bill Cosby fall. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew, you know what I'm saying, in the end, it's like, what they doing to him. But with Van Jones, he deserves everything that he's finna get. Because you lost all the support of the black community doing that. And we shouldn't have to tell you that you don't speak for us. You should know better. You should know better. And Mark Lamont Hill, you already know about that punk. We already know about him. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Van Jones coming out there and talking in front of other people and saying that he speaks for us, and then they let him to get credibility. Because they're like, oh, you know, other people aren't seeing on TV what's going on in the grassroots, and we had to G-check them. You know, but now I think they're starting to realize that there's going to be some backlash with this from the black community, because a lot of us are standing for it anymore. Now I land my plane.
Real talk, Don. Good to hear you tonight. You sound a little bit different. You don't sound like sometimes you sound like you be kind of buzzing a little bit, but you tonight you sound a little bit clearer and whatnot. So it's good to hear from you, bro. Let me get to Professor, but Professor, real quick, and maybe if I'm wrong or not, but was Van Jones, did he get a divorce? Was he married to a white woman at one time as well too?
Yes, I was just come up to say that. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, somebody was calling me and I had to decline that right quick. Okay. But yes, I was just about to come up to say he was married to a white woman. They had just finalized their divorce. So that might be some of the reason why he's bitching and crying right now too, because she took some of that money from his ass. I'm being serious, y'all. She got a good bit of chunk of change from his ass. So that might be why that son of a bitch is on here or in these spaces crying, because that woman has taken him for that money. But that's his damn fault. You married a goddamn cocksucker, and see, this is what happens when you out here cooning. Stop cooning, and you'll be all right. But then you come back out to insult and belittle your people again. So now something else is gonna have to happen to you. Goddamn, can y'all stop calling? Anyway, y'all, sorry about that. But basically, what's going to happen with this guy? He keeps attacking his own people, and he's going to end up having to take another hit, just like he took with this divorce with this white woman. Now, from my understanding, he still is a regular commentator for CNN. I was just doing a little research on his ass. So I'm going to try to find CNN's email, and I'm going to be emailing them about Van Jones, just like I did with that punk ass coon over there at ESPN, Mr. Stephen A. Smith, another big coon that we need to get off TV. All these coons, y'all, we got to get them off TV, because they keep coming out speaking about Black America, insulting us, and then making us out to be the face of these different isms that we should not be the face of when we the ones that are being attacked. See, what I don't understand is, why are these Black American or Black faces talking about the increase in hate crimes against Black America or against Blacks, period? Because it ain't really just Black America being attacked in hate crimes, y'all, is these black immigrants that's being attacked too, because they have black skin. And white supremacy, only thing it cares about is, hey, we're gonna try to take as many of them out. We don't give a fuck where they from. We just know they got black skin, and we're gonna try to kill them. So I don't understand why these black faces in high places don't get on TV and speak out against the increase in hate crimes against black faces, black America in particular. I'm gonna land my plane there.
Real talk, Professor. And here's the thing: when you get the kind of money that Van Jones got, you got to take orders. I mean, Jeff Bezos, it had to be a reason that they broke him off that kind of bread. They don't just give black men. You and I, we black men. We got a bunch of black men in this space. People don't just flood black men with $100 million just for the hell of it. It's got to be something. There's some kind of ulterior motive going behind. So when they tell Van Jones to jump, and they ain't got to tell him often to jump because he's going to ask them how high, but all he got to do is snap their fingers and he's going to do exactly what they say. He was already doing that before they even gave him the money like that when he was on CNN. So nobody kicks $100 million of black men. Nobody, unless it's something in it for them. So what's the real reason? Jeff Bezos, out the kindness of his heart, didn't just write a check and say, you know what, Van Jones, I'm going to give you $100 million and you go ahead and you do whatever you got to do with your organization. It's something, it's something behind that. Whatever it is, I have no idea, but they just don't break black men off with that kind of money just for the hell of it. Volvo, I see you up in the space. What's going on tonight, man? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
What's up, my brother? How everybody doing tonight?
We're doing pretty good. How about you?
All right, I'm wonderful, man. Yeah, I just wanted to speak on the coons in general. I'm proud of my people, man. I'm proud of y'all, man. We've been calling them out, and we at the point now where they ain't really got no power. Everybody can see this shit. Everybody is listening to us. Everybody see what we doing. We the center of world attention. So when they come out there cooning and all that, they just embarrassing themselves. Cause everybody know that they don't speak for us. They all know what's going on. They in these spaces. They in our conversations. They in our mouth, and they know that these people don't speak for us. So really, they just crash dummies. And I want to say that I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of my people. Anytime a coon step out there, we the only people in the world that call out our coons, that call out our sellouts. Anytime they sell us out, niggas right on their head immediately. So they ain't got no power. They just goofy. All of them just goofies, and the world ain't rocking with them. They just a blackface on white talking points. That's it. That's all it is. So I just want to say I'm proud of y'all, bro, and we need to keep up this good work and keep on calling this shit out and keep on being on their head.
Real talk, and you made a great point there, Volvo. And I believe it was Professor Black Truth. He said something to that point that I think Stephen A. Smith was sitting up here when he was starting defending Jerry Jones, and he was saying that black people are only ones that get up here and call their people out and stuff. He like Asians don't do it, whites don't do it, and this and that. Professor Black Truth was like, well, wait a minute. He like white folks do call their people out. In fact, white folks call their people nigger lovers. So the whole idea, that. Yeah, we do it more than anybody else because our sellouts have been more detrimental in our community than anybody else. So yeah, we call them out or whatnot. White folks quick to be talking about nigger lover, and they got terms. I forgot what the other terms, like Hispanics got terms for other people as well too, and the Indians and everybody else. So the people try to sit up in that like, well, black people, we just so divisive. If you don't agree with them, then we call you coon and Uncle Tom and this and that or whatever. Like, yeah, because historically, our people that do sell out will cut your throat in a minute. So yeah, we call them out. We let them know this and that, but other races do it as well too. We just have to do it more because historically we've gone through more crap than anybody else in this country. We've gone through more crap than anybody in this world. So yeah, our people, when they tend to sell us out, it's been really damaging in terms of what it's done to our not only our community but globally what it's done to us as a people. So yeah, hell yeah, we're gonna call them out. And Van Jones, like I said, he's tap dancing for a reason here. What it is, I don't know. But like I said, you can't get that kind of money without doing something in return. So he's got some kind of agenda. He's got something going on with these people right here. He is CNN's resident boy. So he's gonna pretty much get up there and say whatever they got to have him say. But just he's not through yet. Between Stephen A. Smith, Charles Barkley, now Van Jones, it's so many black men. Oh, you can say the black men can say what we want to about black women because you had the chick that we was talking about the other night in DJ space. I can't think of her name, Davis, talking about the reparations. She up here selling out about reparations and this and that, and it's a fantasy and this and that or whatever. But man, you can get a black man to get up here and throw you under the bus in a heartbeat. You can get a black man to sit up here, a black man who feels that he done made it. He will sit up here and he will spew all kind of nonsense and garbage just to keep himself safe. Black men, say what you want to about black women and this and that or whatever. These black men, nobody even has to twist their arm. They sitting up here just getting up here and just selling out in a heartbeat, man. It's just like, damn, bro, can you sit down and shut up? Yeah, Larry Elder and the rest of them. Go ahead, Vova. I know you want to say something. We're gonna get to Leon.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like it ain't only black men. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different races of people that sell out their people, you know, for white people. It's just we the only ones that call it out. The reason why all these countries are third world countries are because their leaders have been selling them out. What they don't realize, the coons don't realize, is that their legacy is damaged. Now they might not give a fuck. They might just be real evil and don't give a fuck. More than likely they don't care. But their legacy is damaged. You know, after you know, ESPN is going to celebrate Stephen A. Smith. They're gonna run stories. When Stephen A. Smith passed or whatever, they're gonna run stories. They'll be showing old footage of the way he used to talk and what he brought to the game and all that. And they're gonna have some other people. Yeah, he influenced me and all that. But when they ask about Stephen A. Smith in the black community, he gonna be forever known as a coon. That's like right now. I don't know if y'all it's a YouTube channel I've been following for a long time called it used to be the African Diaspora News Channel.
Oh yeah, you talking about Phil? You talking about Phil Scott?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of y'all know what I'm talking about. But he went over there to Africa, and they asked him about Obama, and Phil told the truth. But Black America don't fuck with no Obama. We don't fuck with Obama. So Obama named Mud, and he said that in Africa. They and the lady that was interviewing was like, "What? Really? Y'all don't mess with Obama?" And he broke it down. No, we don't fuck with no Obama. Obama named Mud. His legacy is tarnished. We don't celebrate Obama no more. Yeah, because Obama was a sellout. So that's what the coons ain't realized. It don't matter what Charles Barkley did on the court. If people don't celebrate you, even though you did amazing things, there's something wrong there, and the world understand that. So they legacy tarnished, and that's what we should do.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead. We're gonna kick it to Leon, and we're gonna kick it to Queen B. Go ahead, Leon. Unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, Newstoter. Thanks again. Another great night, great topic. Oh man, here we go again. But I have to kind of say something, man, because when you just posted the Cosby thing, I mean, I know you're not talking about it.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You can mention it as well.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much into it. My blood is boiling over that.
I saw your comment on it earlier.
Not only they need to leave him alone, but it's the same MO. More white ladies. That don't mean attractive. I mean, this is like OJ. This is like OJ 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it, all over again. You know, but you know, let's. I'm gonna stick to the topic that you had, but yeah, I'm gonna leave Bill alone for now. I mean, I'm sure you'll probably hit that up tomorrow or something because I want to talk about that a little bit more. But man, and I was gonna do my space with my award on prime time until Van Jones opened up his mouth. So I might have to retrain. I might have to redo my whole content now, man. This Van Jones thing. Let's unpack Van Jones. Mr. Cried. What the hell did he cry about a couple years ago? Not about a bomb. Oh, cried the first time about Warnock winning. Oh, Georgia, this is a great day for the country is finally healing. I don't know if y'all remember that on CNN. They were talking about, oh, the country's finally healing. We're finally coming together. Yeah, whatever. Van Jones, I don't need you to speak for me. That whole thing, you spoke for your pockets. You didn't speak for black people. You spoke to your pockets. Let's make that very clear. I don't know. I'm kind of a little dumbfounded on, why he did it or what he did. But, coons what coons do.
Because his daddy and them told him to go ahead and say something because he got that $100 million, so he got to go ahead and earn that money.
Oh, daddy. Oh, yeah, Bezos, right? You talking about Bezos' daddy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that whole speaking about, my mommy took care of this little Jewish boy. I don't give a crap if your mommy molested that damn boy. I mean, no pun intended about that whole thing because we don't believe in that stuff. But I'm just saying, I don't want to. It's just whether that story is true or not. I just think that the rhetoric was just of him apologizing just was way off code. Period. Don't need to apologize for Ye. Don't need to explain. Stop explaining. Remember, we have this little campaign going now about don't explain to white people because one, they're not going to get it. Two, they don't want to get it. So whatever Van Jones said about apology, they don't care about that damn apology. They still going to come after Ye. We starting to see now they're going to come after Bill Cosby. Who's next? You know what I mean? I'll land there.
Absolutely, brother. I agree exactly what you're saying. With the Bill Cosby thing, and even with the OJ to a certain degree, when they feel like that you've gotten over and you beaten them at their own game, yeah, it's a target on you for life. And Bill Cosby, until this man dies, they're going to be coming after Bill Cosby. OJ, they can at least say, hey, we ain't put you away for life or we ain't give you the gas chamber, but we got your black ass for a while. Bill Cosby, we had you. And everything just went out the window. You messed everything up. We had you. You should have died in prison. You should have stayed there. They wanted Bill Cosby to admit to doing that. And Bill Cosby was like, damn that. I'll stay up in here the rest of my life before I admit to that. So they pissed about that. And now these chicks are coming back and now they're trying to score a bag again. This already should be gone. Like I say, and we said this in another space before. When they had a chance, they never, all this stuff that went down supposedly at the Playboy Mansion and all that stuff, they let Hugh Hefner die with pride and peace. They let him die as an icon. After he died, they started bringing this stuff up and bringing it up. But of course, he was dead then. And the Playboy legacy still had gave his family millions of dollars in generational wealth. So now that he's dead, his family's come out and they we don't agree with what dad saying this and that. Well, go ahead and give up that legacy money that Hugh left y'all. Since y'all don't want any of that dirty money and everything that comes along with it, go ahead and give that money all to charity. Don't take any of that dirty money that your daddy was responsible for. But they're not going to do that. So they let Hugh Hefner, with all of the stories going about Hugh Hefner, I'm sure they had to hit his stuff back in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. They let all of that stuff go to Hugh Hefner die. Now they want to have documentaries and bring it up or whatever. And even then, it's not that deep. They're still not going to just ruin and tarnish his name to that point. So Hugh Hefner was considered like an American hero. But like I said, with Cosby, to the day he dies, he's going to have a target on his head. Cosby's 80-some years old. They wanted him to die in prison. He didn't die in prison. Getting back to Van Jones, Van Jones is just doing what he's told. He's just taking his orders. You getting this money, and he is their slave for the rest of life. That $100 million, they may have put a tattoo on his behind or something. He's going to be their slave until he dies as well, too. There's no way around it. He was already their boy. He's definitely their boy now. There's nothing he can do about it. He knows that. He's going to always be the mouthpiece. Anything that they feel like they can't say, they're going to use him to go out there and give the whole I'm black and this and that or whatever, so listen to me narrative. So for his days on, Van Jones is going to always be their number one boy. He's going to be the foreman on the plantation. He's going to tell you when it's quitting time and everything else. He's going to be ringing that bell. It's quitting time. So from here on out, Van Jones, Jeff Bezos gave him that contract, gave him that money to go ahead $100 million. Van Jones is set for life. He done created generational wealth for his family, his kids, or whatever, and he knows not to bite the damn hand that feeds him, and he's never going to do that. So it's
Well, him in the paint now. I mean, 'cause let's be honest. We just saw Stephen. I mean, you just see the campaign ad or how we ran Stephen A. And you see Stephen A. had to come back on a podcast because he realized he fucked up. So we could do this to Van Jones too. I'm starting to see the power. If we could all get together and start running these damn coons down, maybe they'll, I mean, they're not going to change their ways. We know this. But we could give that little sting into them, let them know, hey, you ain't speaking for us, and we just pulling your damn black card off you. And I think that's a good start.
Real talk, and I agree with you, brother. Let me go ahead and I'm going to kick it to Queen B, then I'm going to kick it to Volvo, Trouble, and Don. So, Queen B, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, good evening, Newstoter, Ray. I haven't been in your space for a while, so glad to be back.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. So, I noticed where Van Jones was catching a lot of heat today. And so most of my Twitter network are people, are either going to be Black conservatives or people that are in the reparations movement and that sort of thing. But I did get a retweet today in my feed, and it was from, I think she's a Democrat, Shell or something. Her name is Reese or something like that. And she had actually put something out there, where she was upset with Van Jones. And I thought, oh, this is one of his own, that's upset with him. And then it was maybe a couple of hours later that I actually saw something, and I'm going to read it. So bear with me for just a second here. And it was where he actually is coming back, and this reporter who actually said that he misquoted Van Jones. And so Van Jones, I don't know if everybody else saw this, but he's saying, Van Jones replied back and said, thanks for the apology and correction. If I had said Black folks weren't holding Kanye or Ye accountable, that would have been a lie, because zillions of us have condemned Ye. Let's stick together and get louder versus hate. So he's coming back, and I think he's coming back now because he sees where this just was not advantageous. Whatever he said last night and in the context of which he said it, too many people took, what I'm saying, for him to not mean what he actually said. I mean, something's not right there. So it is like they are trying to backtrack it or take some of it back or something, or what they're saying now is that he was misquoted. So, so that's my observation. I think when the Democrats started coming after him, I don't believe this woman, Reese, she couldn't have been the only one. That was when, they were like, oh, hold up, you got to do something about this. You got to retract it, or we got to get this reporter. This reporter they said he was a senior political reporter named Jacob Cornblow or something like that. And he had to come back and say, oh, well, no, I misquoted him. That's not what he did. So anyway, I just was going to add that to the conversation. I'll land.
Thank you, sister. Glad to have you in this space tonight. It's funny, y'all. Like, you always hear a Black person to get up there, a Black person of notoriety, and they'll go ahead and they'll include the entire race or something. Like, you rarely ever hear a white person get up there and give a wide paintbrush for all white people. Oh, we as white people, this and that. We do this as white people, or we as Hispanics, or we as Asians. But you'll always have one Black person sit up there, like Charles Barkley talking about how we was doing gays and this and that. Or you'll always have one Black person get up there, and they'll go ahead and they'll just include every Black person into something. You don't see that with other races. You don't see white people saying, we as white people, we got to stop all this white supremacy. You don't hear Asians saying that, this and that, or whatever. It's only Black people when it comes to that. Only Black people will just get such a wide paint that they include the entire race. White people, Let a white person go up there and do a mass murder or something like that. You ain't gonna hear white people talk about, we as white people gotta stop going around committing all these mass murders. Never gonna hear that. You ain't gonna hear Asian people. You ain't gonna hear Hispanics get up there and talk about, we as Hispanics, we got to quit dealing all these drugs with the cartels and this and that. You're not going to ever hear Asians talk about, we got to stop setting up all of these fake businesses and having prostitution rings and stealing stuff and sending it back over to the Asians. Like, you never hear that, but you only hear that in black people. Like, we as black people, we got to, in Chicago, we got to stop all this black killing and this and that. We got to stop killing each other. Now. We just killing. All we doing is this and that. It's always black people, no matter what white people or Asians or Hispanics do. They never include the entire race. Only one group of people include the entire race. You can have 40 some odd million black people in this country, and you might have 300,000 of them that's criminals, or 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever is criminal, but it's all black people. Every black person. It's all black America. Every black person. We black people when black people are just gonna stop killing each other. I know a bunch of black people that ain't never killed anybody. I know a bunch of black people that's not criminals. I know a bunch of black people that get up every day and go to work. I know a bunch of black people that raising their kids. I know a bunch of black men taking care of their kids. But it's always we as black people. Oh, y'all, we got to stop. You'll never hear a white person say that. You'll never hear a white person. First thing when white people start talking about slaves, well, most white people didn't own slaves. My family didn't own slaves. We didn't come over here to this. It's always black people that want to include every single solitary black person in the discussion. Let me go ahead and kick it to you, Volvo. And y'all, I am going to touch up too on a couple instances of these racist incidents that we're having on these college campuses as well too. I'm just going around the room and letting everybody go ahead and get their say in. Let me give a shout out to my co-host Ray and my co-host DJ. He up in the spot now. DJ, I know you was a little late. What's going on with you?
In the background working, my brother. What's good, everybody? Reparations up.
That's what's up. Ray, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, bro. Just enjoying the conversation, man. A lot of people drop a lot of good information, so I'm just sitting back, absorbing it all.
Real talk. And we're gonna drop some more information too, because I want to touch up on a couple racist incidents as well that's going on these college campuses, the rise of white nationalism and racism and white supremacy that's taking place on these college campuses right here in America. So we're gonna touch up on all of that. And y'all know, even though I'm gonna touch up on those topics, we can still come back to the Van Jones. So it's no thing, it's no incident. As a matter of fact, before I actually move on to the next speaker, let me touch up on one real quick. We had this is from the Journal of Black Higher Education / the JBHE. This is one of the curation partners on Newstoter.com. Very quick article. It says a noose found on the head of a statue on the campus of the University of Virginia. Y'all keep your hands up because we're gonna get right back to you. So don't go nowhere. Y'all can go ahead and go back in. This was curated on Newstoter.com platform, and the article is also up in the actual Jumbotron. A noose was placed over the head of a statue of Homer on the campus of the University of Virginia. Video surveillance revealed the noose was placed by a white male. Police collected other evidence at the scene, but have not revealed further details. In a statement, the university police said there was no substantive note that reflected any threats, motive, or information that warranted notification to our community. We're in the process of evaluating items that were left behind to determine what value they have to respect of our investigation. The statement went on to say this is deeply concerning incident on the grounds, and we understand that our community wants and deserves information. However, we must take care to preserve the integrity of our investigative process by not releasing information that only the suspects or persons who have intimate knowledge of this event would know. In response, the group, the Black UVA wrote an open letter in the student newspaper that read, in part, the silence and inaccuracy of information from the administration are explicit acts of collusion against the safety and well-being of Black students and Charlottesville community members. A silence in the face of explicit anti-Blackness and the threat of racialized violence does not contain the problem of white supremacy. It does not protect Black students. In fact, it actively frustrates Black students' efforts to mobilize, organize, and hold space for healing. This was actually published back in September. So I had already tweeted out months ago, but I just wanted to go ahead and touch up on that as well. So guys, go ahead and we're going to go to Volvo. Volvo, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thanks, brother. I'm trying to be fast, but I might be a little long. I hope y'all can bear with me. How I
ain't nothing but just a sick trick of the white supremacy of white people to get these black men to go out there and sell us out. They get a kick out of that. They know that we gonna call them out on their opponent. They know that. They study us. A story that happened to me, right? When I first started driving trucks, right? I worked for a temp service. So like as a truck driver, if you work for a temp service, the company that leases you out or whatever, they're going to pay top dollar because they are in desperate need of a driver if they got to go through a temp service. So they're going to pay top dollar, right? So I used to have to drive to like the far away from Cleveland, this little city called Lorain, Ohio. And I was working there at the temp service, and I used to work. The white guy, it was a white guy was my boss. They was real racist. This is a racist city towards black people. He would have to sign off on my checks in order to pay the temp service so they can pay me. So this like 10 years ago. So I'm making $1,400 a week. This guy's making $500 a week, but he's got to sign off on my $1,400 every week. So I can tell that now he's now all of a sudden, he's throwing little jabs and saying little shit in joking ways, but I don't give a fuck. I already done root you off. You white. I'm not paying you no attention. I'm here to get my money. You know what I'm saying? But now all of a sudden I got a nickname. I'm Big Money now, and he's looking at me. This guy's about 54 or something like that. I'm in my 20s. I'm in my mid-20s. So he's old enough to be my father. He's upset, you know what I mean, that I'm making more than him. So, I was working with some Puerto Ricans too, right? And the guy ended up being disrespectful. I ain't gonna go too far into it. So I checked his ass, right, and almost got fired. But I checked him, and then the higher ups, I told them why I checked them. I proved my point, and they didn't fire me, right? But this guy, he's my boss now. He directs. All of a sudden now he's got to go to a third person to talk to me, and I don't care. I'm getting $1,400 a week. This is 10 years ago. I'm killing him. You know what I'm saying? So he's mad, and right, all the white guys stopped talking to me now because he's the boss, so he's talking about behind my back. Everybody's mad because I'm making more money than them. So all the white guys, they stopped talking to me, right? So all of a sudden, the Puerto Ricans stopped talking to me. The Puerto Ricans, they used to want to walk up to me and talk about rap. They was real respectful, but that's all they know about black culture. They want to, talk about the latest rap gossip and the popular culture gossip. You know what I mean? So I would engage them, and I'm cordial with everybody. So to make a long story short, now the Puerto Ricans stopped talking to me, right? And all the white guys took the Puerto Ricans, right? And it was like they would dangle them in front of me, like, look what I'm able to make them do. Look what I'm able to make the Puerto Ricans do. I can make the Puerto Ricans stop talking to me. This how much power I got, like literally. So the Puerto, they wouldn't even, they would avoid because they didn't want to make the white folks mad. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm saying that to say this. I see that they like to play little games like that. That's a part of they get their kicks like that. The fact that they can, me, you gotta respect me. You might not like me, but I'm gonna make sure your ass respect me, or we gonna get violent. Period. I was on that type of time. Me and this guy almost came to blows. Like I challenged him. I said, "Let's go in the bathroom. Let's fight." You know what I'm saying? And he didn't want to. He's 54. I'm in my 20s. I would destroy him. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? They used it. They just play little sick games like that. Like, look, all right, you rebellious, cool, but look how much power I got. I can dangle these people in front of you. I can make these people be my puppy. So you got to understand that these people like that, and there will never be a time where there isn't COVID. So there's nothing that we can do about that. All we can do is call them out, and we can discredit them. I appreciate you letting me speak, bro. I hope I wasn't too long.
Nah, you was good, bro. You was good. You was fine. Let's go ahead and kick it to Miss Trouble. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, Newstoter, right quick, because you already done stole my talking points. You see what you said about how none of these other groups come out and apologize for their whole clan. Nobody does that but us. At the same time, nobody likes a race traitor. What I wish some of these brothers and sisters who go out there and would understand. Nobody likes a race traitor. Look at the Mexican. Matter of fact, there's some races out here like the Mexican cartels, like the Italian, who find yourself floating with a cement boot. You come up missing if you're a race traitor. I think that maybe because, and white folks don't either. That's what I was saying. Why I hope they understand when they get through using them, they're done with them, and they have no use for them, and then they throw them under the bus. Because what good are you to them if you will throw your own people up under the bus? What good are you? See, they're not thinking about it on that level. When you get through selling your own people out, you really think that they're going to want you amongst them? You're useless. I think the only people that may not call their people out like everybody else does, or like we do. If Mike, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to sound xenophobic, but I don't think like the Africans and some of these other blacks necessarily throw their people under the bus in that manner. I mean, I'm not to say that we throw ours up under the bus, but we're quick to call them out. We'll call them a coon in a heartbeat. Maybe if they would do their leave. So I don't know if they're looking at the fact that Black Americans, we got a little something extra about us. We got a little extra that the rest of the Black collective don't have. They want us to be humble like the rest of them, a little bit more docile, but we're not that. We call ours out, and so every time we call our bootlicks out, they rush to those bootlicks rests. They want to elevate them. We're chopping them down. See, they don't mind us calling Kanye. The Kanye's out, those who they get upset with. They get upset with them. Yeah, they want us to call them out. We don't get the credit for that though. We only get punished when we want to call out the Van Jones and the Charles Barkleys, and then they still somehow, because if you notice, when we are against something, they are for it. That's why sometimes it don't even really pay for us to a certain degree voice our opinions on certain things, because as soon as they know that we don't like something, they all of a sudden love it. If we love something, they all of a sudden against it. So I just wanted to make that point. I don't know if anybody ever necessarily paid attention to it, but Black Americans, we call ours out. We let our race traders know that you a race trader, because like you said earlier, Toto, we've been through so much in our past and in our history where you coming up against your own people has caused death. It has caused so many different heinous things to our collective, so we have no choice but to call it when we see it. And so I'm gonna land on that. Something going on my phone.
Real quick, Black Native, I was trying to let you come up and speak. I don't know if it may be something with your phone. I even sent you an invite, so I was trying to get you to come up and speak. I kept clicking on it, so I said, let me just go ahead and make her a speaker or whatever, and then it still wouldn't. So I sent you an invite. So I don't know, sister, it might be something with your phone, but I'm trying to get you up here best I can. So let me go ahead.
I tried too, man. They did the same thing with me.
Oh, you tried with her too? Let me try again. Okay, she's up here now. She should be coming up here now, because I was just able to get her in. So, all righty, got trouble. So let's go ahead and go to As a matter of fact, Black Native, since you hadn't had a chance to speak, let me let you go ahead. I'm gonna let you put you in front, because Don and Professor speak. So Don, you and Professor, you guys will be next. Let me let Black Native go ahead and get something in there real quick.
Peace to the room, peace to reparations, peace to Newstoter, my brother, peace to Professor Don, Trouble, DJ, Ray, Vocal Rant. Yeah, I was actually listening to you on YouTube and decided to chime in. The picture, I don't think that picture you got up there is doing Van Jones justice. I think you needed the one with the tears. Because, he's always crying all the damn time. I call him Crying Jones. Like, this dude, I don't understand. Like, he shows so much empathy when it comes to, white people. He cried when, I think, Biden won. He was crying, talking about he finally got it right. Tears was flowing. He's always crying. I was also trying to find when Malcolm X spoke about people like Van Jones and people like Charles Barkley. He said, and I was trying to find the video on YouTube that white people always have black people who are in or pick these people that are in interracial relationships, like Van Jones, Charles Barkley, Candace Owens. We can go on with the list because they know they really don't have loyalty to their people. You know what I'm saying? So he said they're picked intentionally by white people as the spokesperson for black people. And we can see that playing out today. We got Charles Barkley, who said that black people are the most homophobic. Now you got Crying Van Jones up here apologizing to the Jewish community, saying that we're anti-Semitic. This is a game. This is a plan. We see it. We all know we're going down the pipe. They're trying to, for some reason, label us. Well, I know what it is. I think because we're getting close to reparations. And I think that they know this is a totally different generation. And you can't keep running game on us. The games are up. We see through all the bullshit. So, yeah, they got to come out with a Van Jones and a Charles Barkley and a Stephen A. Smith and all these other people who most Black Americans don't fuck with. Okay, we don't deal with these people. We don't acknowledge these people. And like the sister said, we call out our coons and well, so these people are treasonous. I don't know why we've been allowing these people for all these years to continue to do what they're doing, and they feel comfortable with it now. They know that I guess we don't really have significant power, or they know that they can't be touched, so they can just go ahead and keep throwing their own people under the bus. Yeah, Van Jones has always been problematic, and this is just the ice, the straw that broke the camel's back. And I was reading in your up here where somebody is asking him to be removed, and he should be removed. You don't speak for all black people. How dare you go on CNN of all places and say black people are the most anti-Semitic people, and he's apologizing for you? Don't apologize for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, this shit is getting out of hand. So yeah, he's very problematic. And what is this white nationalism on college campuses? Okay, yeah. What was that when they was the tiki torches and they were at University of Virginia? Is that what you're talking about, or the other one in the khaki pants?
Oh, I mean, it's a number of incidents that's going on right now.
Okay, because I know it was a group that got their behinds beat in Philadelphia. These white supremacists, all of them wearing these khaki pants, was in I think like U-Haul trucks, and they pulled up, and I think it was in Philly. And I think 2020, they all got their behind whipped and chased back to wherever they came from. But yeah, I mean, white supremacy, it's not going anywhere. We've all accepted that, and now we have to counteract that, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're getting stronger. They're getting weaker. Their time is up. They had they've had a good rulership, and everything comes to an end. So, yeah, and we're gonna handle that too. And I don't know if you know, I just was looking on Twitter. They found Carolyn Bryant, and and they're at her place. She lives in an apartment, I think, in Kentucky. So you have the black grassroots, and the attorney is Shabazz. What's his name? Something Malik Shabazz. So they found her. I think it was either today or yesterday. And so yeah, she's not. Like I said, no justice, no peace. She shouldn't get not one bit of sleep. We don't care if this lady is 110. Is she breathing? Wheel her ass in there. Let her stand. Let her stand a trial and let her suffer the consequences. If she has to go to jail, so be it. Ain't no sympathy for me coming from her. So it's a lot of things that's going on, and it might seem like it's like a lot, but this is an important time to be alive because we're actually probably going to see changes that our parents never saw before, and I thank God for that. And so I'll just land my plane and listen in, and thank you for allowing me to speak.
As always, sister, glad to hear from you. Definitely glad to have you in the space tonight, and thank you for all your support. And if you want to come back up, all you gotta do is raise your hand, and we'll go ahead and let you speak again. And yeah, we were talking about and I read one report where you had an incident on college campus, and professor also, I believe earlier today, he tagged me in the actual post. I didn't get a chance to read it, but it was something else about some violence and stuff. I don't know whether it was actually, you have to ask professor, was actually on the college level or was actually just a regular school. But you're starting to see all of this white nationalist type things happening, not only just in high school but college campuses especially. So there are a bunch of incidents that the actual media doesn't report that's going on right now in these college campuses. So matter of fact, I'm gonna kick it to Don and Professor. But Don, before I kick it to you, let me just touch up on this real quick report, real quick here. And some of these colleges that our people go to, man, like this is about the University of Utah, and I think black people make up just 1% of the undergraduate student body at the university. But this is also from our curation partner, JBHE. That's short for the Journal Black Higher Education, one our top education curation partner, and it says racist incidents at the University of Utah. So this is also curated. I believe that may be in the jumbotron. I'm not sure. A black faculty member at the University of Utah was waiting for a train near campus. A white man with a paper bag approached him and asked where the receiving building was because he had to make a delivery. The faculty member pointed to the receiving building. The man walked toward the indicated building and found it was locked. He screamed at the faculty member from a distance, calling him a lying nigger. In a statement, the university said this act, specifically targeted against a faculty member of our black community in a public scene, is rooted in the hateful act of striking fear among our community members. These targeted acts leave our black students, staff, faculty feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, angry, and continuously on edge. While we work to ensure that we can find a place of safety and belonging as part of our campus community, we know that's not enough. We will continue to name the racist acts, investigate, and hold the perpetrators of these hateful acts accountable when they are identified. We cannot tolerate what is intolerable. In a separate incident, a resident reported to the front desk of their residency hall that they heard another resident in the laundry room making racist and sexual comments. Specifically, the resident was saying sexual things to female residents and then also randomly saying the N word loudly, though not directed at any particular person. Other racist incidents have also been reported on campus this year. This was back in September that this actual article was published. It's on the Newstoter.com platform. Like I say, it comes from one of our curation partners, a journal of Black Higher Education / JBHE, just for short. So yeah, this is kind of stuff that we're going on, and that's why I mentioned that. That's the second article. I'm gonna have a short one later on. I'm gonna mention too as well. Professor mentioned something earlier today, so maybe he'll touch up on that for us as well too. So you guys know we just like to put the content out there. You can come and go back and forth. Van Jones is right now the man of the hour because he got up there and he started tap dancing. So Don, Professor, I'm gonna go to Don, and we're gonna go to Professor.
You know what? In that what you just said, I'm not surprised. I had a homeboy. He went to Utah University. You know what I'm saying? And my homeboy flipped out once he got back because he experienced so much racism out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I say his name. My homeboy Chris Donner. You know what I'm saying? He moved out there. He played football out there. So I know about all that stuff that happens in Utah. A lot of brothers do who play on the football squad. But back to Van Jones. Van Jones, you know what I'm saying? All these people that they put in on TV are basically black mannequins. You know, they dress them up nice. They you know what I'm saying? Make them look good. You know what I'm saying? They put them out there, and they don't have a voice. They don't even have a brain. Jeff Bezos bought himself $100 million black mannequin to get out there and cry. And one thing I've noticed when somebody said they cry, if you notice, it's never about black people. They never cry about black people. When Barack Obama, when those little children died, he was crying. When Van Jones presidential bid, he was crying. When Roland Martin seeing all those people voting for Democrats, he was crying. But when all those black people died at the church, Barack Obama was singing. These people are mannequins. They're bought and paid for mannequins, and as long as we know this, we'll be all right. We have to tell our people, hey, when you see these people on TV from ABC, NBC, CBS, ESPN, anything that's owned by a corporation, that is a mannequin. That's a black mannequin. Because you've never seen one who has really talked, who's really been about the people. We don't even have a channel on cable news that's really about the people. Only time we talk about these people is when they disparage us, and that seems to be every month. Every month we have somebody on these news channels disparaging us, saying things about us, talking bad about us, and we don't even hear the good about us. There's never been one who said, look at what we're doing good for our community. They never say that. But as soon as one of us get out of line, they get on there and they blow that up. They blow that up. As long as we know that they're doing this and we can shield our children from it and let them know that this is what's going on and this is what we've been fighting against this whole time. Because our parents didn't tell us that this was going on. We had to figure this one out for ourselves. As soon as we hooked up that cable box and do that remote control, that's when they try to get in control. Only time that we've ever really been off of this is since the new black media came out and we can hear our voices. You might not be able to see our faces, and that's a good thing, but you can hear our voice and you know we're talking black. And I'll land my plane.
Absolutely, brother. I can't argue with anything you said on that matter. In Utah, man, let's not forget, getting back to the Utah thing too, Utah is the home of the Mormons, and we know exactly how those Mormons felt about black people for a long time. Talk about we were cursed and all this other nonsense. And I remember my mom was telling me back in the day, my older sister, I guess they came to the house when she was a little girl, and my parents had went off and they were trying to get her to trying to teach us some Bible lessons or something like that, telling them that that your people are cursed and this and that because Cain was black or some shit like that. And my daddy, when he found that shit out, he chased their ass up off the damn porch when he found that they was talking that nonsense like that. So yeah, Utah is not exactly the most black friendly state you could be in. On that note, go ahead.
My ex, she was Samoan, and she left the church actually because you know what I'm saying she was brainwashed for years. You know what I'm saying? She was like she knew that she was black, but the way that they teach it is still that she's you know what I'm saying. Once you get there, you're gonna be our slaves. You know what I'm saying? She said they got better over time, but they still are like that. You know what I'm saying? They highly into Trump and MAGA and, you know what I'm saying, Blue Lives Matter and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's still, you know what I'm saying, it's still rampant up there. I like my point.
Yeah. I don't think black people could even get in the damn church until the 1970s. So, yeah, it was definitely a very, very racist church, to say the least. Also, y'all, in the Jumbotron is the actual Newstoter YouTube channel as well as the actual newsletter. Go ahead and subscribe to both of those if you can. Also, support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Just remember that Newstoter is the largest black-owned, the largest black American news curation platform today in America, and we need you guys' support as much as you can. So please think about supporting Newstoter. Let me kick it to my man, Professor. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you again, Newstoter, for allowing me to speak, brother. If you, everyone, I want you to look in the Jumbotron. You will see where I just tweeted out to CNN in reference to Van Jones. As a matter of fact, DJ has added some comments to it. And if you want to, you can attach on to this, or you can even send out your own to CNN. As a matter of fact, maybe we can even get a mass campaign against this guy. This guy, and along with these other ones, man, we got to put a stop to these folks, man, because these folks can get a platform and use it against us because they black. And white people will allow them to do this because they have that black face. And they don't mind allowing these folks be cooning against us. See? So we got to put a stop to it. We got to let these folks know, hey, we can't allow you because you got a black face to come up on a platform and just say, oh, yeah, black people do this, black people don't do that, black people are anti-Semitic, black people are bullying the gay community. We have to stand up to our own people or people that look like us because they will cause us to be looked upon as being racist when we don't hold any power in this country to be any of that. So, but you see the Jumbotron where I sent that to CNN. Everybody can attach on to that, or you can even do your own thing. But we want to start doing this type of stuff to stop these black ass coons. Okay. Now, in reference to the other story that Newstoter mentioned about the rise in white supremacy in college, on college campuses, but it's also happening across the high schools, in middle schools and the high schools. The story that I tagged him in was in reference to what happened in Valley Center, Kansas, at a high school basketball game. There was some taunting in the white student section of the high school at Valley Center, where they was even had like a black Sambo doll hanging. They had it hanging, and they was taunting the black basketball players and the black students that were there, and they was hollering out N-words at the students and all this stuff. I put that in the Jumbotron, by the way, so everybody can see the story, read the story. There's video. There is video attached to the story where you will see white students with a black baby doll hanging from looks like some type of stick or something, y'all. But check out the story, read it. It'll piss you off. The high school black basketball coach of the team from Topeka, Kansas, he spoke about it. He said that he was going to start a petition against the fans at Valley Center because they was causing his team a lot of harm.
Hold on 1 second, Professor. Hey, Ray, you got your mic muted?
Oh, my bad, bro.
No problem. Go ahead, Professor.
The head coach at the Topeka, Kansas, said that he was going to start a petition so they can get the parents and anybody that was in that white student section, any of the fans removed from any of from participating in any more sports activities this year because of what they was doing. Because they was making threats. They was just calling them, saying all kinds of in this, in that. They had the black baby doll hanging from like I guess some type of stick. Like I said, his video attached to the story, y'all. So definitely read that. That's in the Jumbotron. Y'all, we got a problem in this country, and as Black Americans, the only thing I can tell you is what we're dealing with. We got to stay on top of this stuff, and that means when people are attacking us, including our own, we're going to send out mass campaigns, emails, tweets, whatever we have to do. Like if it's a Van Jones or a Charles Barkley or it's goddamn Cockasword making comments against our people, and they work for some type of network or where we can find out where they work at, we're gonna campaign against them. We're gonna go hard. We're gonna go hard the way we're supposed to against people that's downing us and bullying us and putting smut on Black Americans' name. Okay, we're gonna go hard at these people. We're not gonna slow down. Like I just did that tweet to CNN. I'm gonna do some more to them, and I'm gonna stay on top of the other guy, the coon out there, ESPN. I'm gonna stay on top of him. Charles Barkley, he's another one. See, we we gotta go after all of them. And I land my plane there.
Appreciate you, brothers, always. Black Native, I know you got your hand back up. We're gonna go to you, then we're gonna go to Trouble. Go ahead and unmute your mic. You there, Black Native?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was speaking in trouble. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on like the issues are not only with the students. If y'all been paying attention, we've had a lot of these white racist teachers go at our children. I remember it was a little black boy in kindergarten, and the toilet went and flushed, and the teacher made him dig his hand in the toilet to pick up the poop out the toilet. Then it was another incident where a black student didn't want to eat their lunch. The damn school lunch attendant made them pick the lunch that they threw about the garbage and eat it. You got a teacher that president of no, she was a principal, I believe, of a high school, and had a Christmas party and invited people over, and she had black baby dolls hanging in her backyard, and she knew she did it intentionally. Had the white man who sat up in there talking about white people are supreme and are more intelligent, telling some two black boys this. They finally fired him.
You there, Black Native? I think we might have lost Black.
The Matrix.
Yeah, she caught up in the Matrix. She'll come back in though. That's crazy. And somebody gonna make your kid pick up something they threw up in the garbage can. You got the right. They dealing with the right mothers on that one there, because it couldn't have been none of the ones. It couldn't have been my mother, none of my aunts, or none of my neighbors and stuff like that. Because I swear they would be in jail. Like you know, there's no way that no teacher was gonna make you go in the garbage and pick up something you threw up and make you eat it. No way in hell. My mom would have been down at that school and would have been on that teacher's ass before you knew it. And she'd have been right up in jail, because that's exactly, because when she'd got on that teacher, that would have been all she wrote there. No way in hell. None of my aunts or anything like that would allow anything like that. None of my friends' parents, period. None of their mothers would allow anything like that. Even if they didn't have a car, they would have caught the bus down to that school, if not walked. No way. Trouble, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah. This is in response to the story that Professor was talking about. I grew up in the Kansas school system, and I can't believe that, and I guess I can, but I can't believe that it's still the way that it was when I left it. I went through so much inside those school systems, who kind of formulated the militants that I have today, because that's all that I ever heard was I was militant, I wasn't patriotic, I was a rebel, and anything else they could say to me to try to make me feel like I was something less than what I actually was. If I refused to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, I was called unpatriotic and sent out of the classroom. I spent so much time at the Board of Education. I should be working there right now. I remember playing in sports, and we played a white prep team that came from Topeka. I grew up in Wichita. And the prep team came in. It was supposed to be a fun game between the two, because we were really out of each other's districts and whatnot. And I can't remember how we came to play that game. But it was a prep team. I was playing volleyball, and I spiked the ball. No lie. Spiked the ball down, and it hit one of the white girl's nails, her fingernail, and it broke her nail. They put me out of the game because I wouldn't apologize. They called it immediately. Sat me down and stopped the game, and my coach came over, told me I had to go and apologize to her. Apologize to her for what? It's a game. I didn't spike the ball to break her nail on purpose. I'm just spiking the ball. But the referee blew his whistle, went and talked to their team. Next thing you know, he came and talked to my coach, and then she walks over to me to get me to apologize, and I refused to do it. The newspaper happened to catch me directly as we were going back and forth about it, me and the coach was. and she was walking off calling me pig-headed and saying something up under her breath, and I gave her a finger. And the newspaper caught it, and that's the picture that they posted in the newspaper. I think my aunt still has it in her photo album. I ended up having to go to the Board of Education. My mother did, because they wanted me expelled from school for that. They wanted me expelled from school because I gave the middle finger during a game. Again, unpatriotic, militant behavior, and it was a bad example for the rest of the students. Now, I had nothing to do with the newspaper catching that finger, let alone them printing. So they suspended me and was in talks to expel me from school. And my mother went to the Board of Education and she tried to get the lady, she told the lady to tell her what the middle finger meant. What was it? The woman kept saying, you know what it is? She said, no, I want you to tell me. I don't read sign language. Explain to me what the middle finger means. What is that? What is it? What is it? Put it in words for me. And they wouldn't do it. I caught about a week or two suspension. When I went back to school on the second week, they gave me in-school suspension for the second week, but I was allowed to go back to school. But they did try to suspend me, and that's pretty much how it is in Kansas when it comes to sports. And this was in junior high, and it's always been that way. If you have black students on a team and they are whooping the shit out of the other team, they find some way to either cheat you or to defeat you in other ways, whether that's, emotionally or whatever. They cheat. And that's how they do it. They do it through their racism. So I just wanted to shed a little bit of light up on that. Nothing has changed, obviously.
All right. Thank you, sister. Let me go ahead and kick it to Volvo.
I don't believe that Kanye is a coon. It's just my own personal opinion. I believe he retarded. He said retarded shit. He said shit against black people, but I don't believe that he's a coon. Like what I view as a coon, that somebody that's bought and paid for, somebody that's going against the grain because they puppets. They doing it for a check or some tangible. Kanye just retarded. He's just doing what's on his heart. And we need more black men like that, in my opinion. Even though I believe that he's wrong about a lot of shit. I'm talking about wrong to the point. I believe that his clothing, his fashion sense is off. He's wrong. His fashion sense is off. That shit look ridiculous. But he's a brave man. Most people talk that tough shit. They ain't about to lose their money. They is not about to lose their money, period. They is not about to lose their money. Well, everybody is on him. Everybody is on him. All the light is shining on him. He does what he feels is right. Even though he's wrong, he does what he feels is right. And that's part of being a man. You gotta feel like you gotta do what's right, even if it's unpopular. You still gotta do what's right. No matter what the consequences is, even if you die. They would shit. It's a possibility that they can kill Kanye for the shit that he's saying. He feel as though that he's doing is right. Now I feel as though that he's wrong. He's completely wrong. But that's what he feels as a man. Now somebody do need to grab him and sit him down and say, "Hey, bro, you wrong because this, and this." You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure people have, but he believes that is right. Only time can tell if he's right or if he's wrong. What's his master plan in the whole situation? But I don't feel as though that he's a coon because they can't buy him. They can't buy him. If you lose billions with a billion, if you give me $1 billion, $500 million, I could change Black America my stuff. He's not thinking like that though. He understands money and he understands the microphone that he has. His microphone is really big. He has a really big microphone. He has everybody's watching. So I don't know what he's up to. You know what I'm saying? I think he's just retarded and he's fucking up because it's easier ways to work your plan, especially when you got that type of money. But I don't feel as though that he's a coon because who's buying him? From the stories that we get, they taking his money away. banks don't stop doing business with the billionaire. That has never happened. Bank will be on your ass when you negative. They don't want to stop doing business with they'll send you 100 emails, 100 letters in the mail when you negative. So I just don't feel like he's a fool. I feel like he's retarded. I appreciate you let me speak.
No problem, bro. Let me go ahead and kick it to Professor. Professor, go ahead, unmute your mic.
All right, Bobo Rants. With Kanye, I'm gonna say this again. I have said this many times in previous spaces. He's doing shit that just don't look good as a black man in America. Okay, such as running with white supremacists and partying with them and going to Donald Trump with white supremacists for dinner and shit. Just not a good look. Now, is that a master plan? I like to know if it is. I don't know what to believe right now because it seems like to me it's a bunch of mental breakdown. Is what I'm going to call this. The reason why I still haven't rolled on Kanye so hard, because where me and this brother relate, and I have told y'all this before, I relate to Kanye with the mom situation. He lost his mom all of a sudden, and I lost my mom all of a sudden. It does something to a man when your mom all of a sudden is gone, and that woman was the one that held you together. See, my mom was the one that held me together, and his mom held him together. Mothers, especially if they in the right frame of mind, because not all mothers are in the right frame of mind out here, okay? But most of our mothers, black women who are mothers, hold us, they ground us, and they make us do things the right way. They make us think about things. They keep us in the conscious mind of what we need to be doing that's right, okay? That's what my mom did, and that's what his mom did. After she passed away, it did something to the brother, and he hasn't been able to get back to himself since his mom passed. Because his mom, as Denzel said, I'll never forget it, and it stood out to me. He said on one of them shows, late night show, your mother is the first love. She is your first love. She's the first woman that you love. Because she is the one that's going to be there unconditionally, more so than, of course, any of the other women that you might meet out here in life. They might put a condition on you, but your mother don't put a condition on you. She's there for you no matter how stupid you are. See? If she's the righteous kind of mother, she's there for you even when you're doing stupid shit. Okay? Kanye's mom kept him grounded. And that's what's going on with Kanye. That's what I see with him. That's why I haven't really been riding him so hard, because I see that with the brother, and I've been praying for him that he can turn it around, because I know what I was going through after my mom left. My mom passed away all of a sudden at the age of 45. And y'all, I'm telling you, it did something to me. It took me a while to kind of get a grip on things, because I no longer had her there as a presence to keep me grounded, to talk to me when I was feeling down about things, or somebody I could go to when I needed to just have advice about life. Because that's what your mom does. Your mom tells you things about life that you need to know. She is there for you when other people will turn their back on you. See, that's the thing that people don't understand. The whole world will turn against you, right? But the mother would be like, look, son, I'm here for you. I'm here. Let me hold you. I'm here for you. I don't care what the other people say out here in the world. I just know you're my child, and I'm here to protect you, and I'm here to hold you, and I'm going to love you no matter what. See, that's the kind of shit that keeps a kid sane, a child sane. You understand? So that's all I want to say about the whole Kanye. I don't know about the whole crooning thing, but I think he's just lost mentally right now because of what went down with his mom. I know how it impacted me. I'll land my plane there.
Can I say something real quick? Right, you about to make me call my mom. Man, I'm feeling too ready. I'm about to make me go over there and pull up and give her a hug, bro. You're absolutely right. Man, I don't want to turn this into a mother space, but let me say this. Shout out to all the mothers. And if a man don't have his mama, I know that you got a hole in your heart, brother. Anybody that don't got a mother, you got a hole in your heart. I know that you're missing that, but our women are very important, and our mothers.
I'm sorry, Bobo. I accidentally hit you. My bad.
Go ahead, Bobo.
Oh, what happened?
He accidentally hit the mute button. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying though, bro. I just man, you gonna make me go, bro. I appreciate that too. That was real good, bro. That was man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, real talk, man. You got a mother is definitely important, man. And not to kind of sway the conversation because I know we kind of got on Kanye, even though Van Jones made the apology for Kanye. I think everybody, Kanye has been punished or whatever. Black people aren't sitting up here. We aren't taking up for Kanye West, anything like that. Black people are trying to move on like everybody else always talk about. Why you hold this against this? Why you still focus on that? Black people went out there. They criticized what Kanye West said. You didn't have most black people didn't sit up here and they didn't take up for it. So I don't know how we still getting kind of labeled for being the ones that supported this stuff. So this is on Van Jones. Van Jones just came out of nowhere and he decided to come up with this. Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Thank you, Newstoter. My phone had went dead, so I have it on the charger. I was just watching something. I don't know if you know about this story, and I'm not really trying to change the topic, but since we're speaking on white supremacy to a point, it's a black woman. It looked like she's about maybe 83, 84, maybe 85. They just raided her house, the SWAT, but it wasn't. It was bad information. So they pulled her out her house, a whole SWAT team in riot gear, raided this old black woman's house over bad information, asking her. She's about maybe 85, 86. So they don't show respect to the young or the old. That's why I don't care if they arrest Carolyn Bryant. I don't care if this lady is, if they gotta wheel her in and put on a gurney with tubes up her nose. I don't care because they don't show love to our people no matter how old they are. And I'm just watching this video, but Kanye, yeah, he's going through a lot, and it's his mother's death because remember he's the only child, and it's the separation from his wife, and how she embarrassed him. I guess in public they weren't even divorced before she started messing around with another man, and this man sitting all underneath his children. So that's another layer to that. So not only his mother passing suddenly, and him going through a divorce with his wife, it's a lot that probably has been put on him, and mentally he can't take it, and he's kind of isolated himself from people that seemed like they cared about him. I'm not too sure. He had Jay-Z, that was his right hand man at one time, but Jay-Z turned his back on him, and I think he needs, I think he always wanted the approval and love from Jay-Z. And maybe this is a time for them to bury the hatchet and at least talk to him as a friend, and another man having a conversation with another man. He needs somebody there because they're gonna do something to Kanye. They're setting him up. Okay, they already took his money, but it's something else that's going on. Maybe he's bought into some type of company, like how Michael Jackson owned a lot of Sony. Maybe he has some kind of investments that we don't know about. So they're going to try to label this man insane, like they did the last time, or something else. even more sinister. So, I don't put nothing past white people, especially when it comes to power. So I'm going to go ahead and land. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the kids, but I guess somebody might have brought that up. So I'll go ahead and land my plane right now.
All right, sister. Ray, I see you got your hand up. What's going on, man?
I just want to touch on just on a little bit of what Professor was saying. So one thing that I do have in common with Kanye is I'm also an only child. For those of you that didn't know, I'll just tell you a little bit about my mom's story. I've spoken about it before, but I lost my mother a couple years ago, back in 2017, I believe, 17 or 18. I can't remember, one or two. And a couple months after that, like maybe 4 or 5 months after that, my aunt was put in the hospice. She ended up passing away. Went to go tell my daddy. His sister died. Found my daddy dead. I'm saying that to say this: we all go through things. But Kanye, his mother, in my opinion, would not be proud of the man that he's become today. I remember, I believe on his first album, the College Dropout, when he would talk about how his mother was a Black Panther and how she would take him and make him seat in the seats for white folks that wanted to eat. So how in the hell do you go from having a mother that's a Black Panther to you hanging out with white nationalists like Nick Fuentes or whatever you say his name? I think, like I said, at some point you gotta stop feeling sorry for Kanye. He knows what he's doing. He's grown. He's 40-something-year-old man. At some point, he has to pull himself together. If he doesn't do it for his mother, he needs to do it for himself. Do it for his kids. He talking about he wants Kim back. If I was, a female and I was Kim, I wouldn't go back to nobody acting crazy as cat shit either. Kanye at some point has to. If he knows he's bipolar, he put out albums saying, "Hey, I'm bipolar. It's great." He needs to go get help. I don't know if he thinks he's too proud for it or what the case may be. But if he's saying he needs help, I really think the brother needs to go get some help. If he really wants to get his family back, if he really wants to make his mother proud, he'll go out on that limb and ask for the help. Because, like I said, he can't make his mother proud right now. I'll land right there.
Hey,
I definitely agree with you there, Ray. He definitely is not making his mom proud right now. And see, that's the thing that made me have to turn around too, man. I started thinking, man, my mom wouldn't have been proud of some of the things that I was doing. Of course, I was pretty much in my young 20s, because my mom passed away when I was 24. So, I was fairly young, still immature whenever I was doing my own thing out there. But that's where the mom comes into play. She kept me grounded. But when she passed away, man, it did something to me. So I kind of got lost in the world, And I'm pretty sure that's what's going on with him. But what can turn that around for him is if somebody go to him like somebody did with me and say, "Hey, man, Kanye, brother, think about what your mom would be saying to you right now and what you're doing right now. Do you think she would be proud of you running around with white nationalist motherfuckers?" I mean, just be honest. That lady was a strong Black Panther. She was about Black people. She was about Black American, taking care of Black American business. Do you think what you're doing right now is the right thing to be doing? Somebody just got to sit them down and say, "Hey, what would your mom want you to be doing right now that would make her smile?" See, that's what somebody said to me. What did your mama? What you need to be doing right now to make your mama, Miss Emma? That's my mom's name, by the way, y'all. Emma. They said that to me. You need to be doing what you can to keep her legacy. What she taught you. The legacy is you got a conscience, you believe in God, and you trying to do what's right, and you're not out here doing stupid shit that's gonna fuck up her legacy. See, my mom was a bit of a Black Panther too, y'all. Let me tell you about her. I think I told this in DJ space. My mom, and I was 6 years old, and that was this grocery chain down here in Alabama called Big Bear. That's what it was called back in the day. So that tells you how long ago that was. Cause that doesn't exist anymore. but it was called Big Bear. And me and Mama had just came out of Big Bear after we got all our little groceries, because back then Big Bear was the place to go. You could save some money. Put the groceries in the car. There was this little white boy that was sitting in the car that was parked right next to ours. And that little white boy did one of the middle fingers to my mom, to me and my mom. And my mom said, you see that, son? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been trying to tell you about them. Y'all, I tell you, this is one of the best memories of my mom. This is why I say she's a Black Panther, okay? That my mom went into the glove compartment and got the 357 Magnum. And she pointed it. She pointed it at the window at that white boy, and that white boy started crying. He started crying, boy. I mean, he was hollering. And my mama said, I said, Mama, wait a minute, Mama. you think you supposed to do that? She said, I don't give a shit. You don't disrespect me like that. And she said, son, that's what I want you to understand. There's too many of them out here like that think that we are not human. They think we below them, but we have to show them that we mean business. And that's what my mom was about, y'all. She was about business. She wasn't about to let them do her like that. And so that's why when you hear me talking the way I be on here, that's where I got it from. See, that's the legacy. Kanye got a legacy, man. His mom would be pissed off right now if she knew what that boy laying around with that no good ass Kim. You think his mom be happy about that shit? Man, I'm surprised she ain't slapping his ass right now, like the ghost of his mom right now slapping his ass. Cause I know how my mom felt about white women. She couldn't stand them. She couldn't stand them. Said, don't ever bring one home. Don't bring a goddamn snow bunny to my house. That's what she said. I'm gonna lay my plane there, y'all.
I was gonna say one thing. That doggone Kanye, he ain't got a friend in the world, because anybody that see him doing all this dumb shit and they ain't trying to check him, they ain't no friend to him.
Alrighty. I see we got another hand up. Empress, I believe it's Empress. Blue, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Peace, light, power, and reparations, family.
What's going on?
Good to hear y'all. Hope y'all safe. But I wanted to feed off of what the professor was just saying. I agree that, someone needs to reach out to him. But the point where I'm going to come off of that is the fact that, I was engaged to this brother who was Birdman's right-hand man. If you've seen Birdman, you've seen him. And what he always used to tell me is, the most loneliest places you can be is in your feelings and in the music industry. You can't trust nobody. You have all these people around you, and they only around for one reason. You can't trust nobody. So yes, Kanye needs somebody, but it's more important for him to be somebody that he trusts, because anybody can tell him that. We can run into him on the street and we can tell him that, but he would heed it more if it was somebody he knew that he felt deep down that he can trust, and he felt was working in his best interest. So people think that this Hollywood stuff is bad. Let me tell you something. It's a whole different world. Literally, it's a whole different world. We think we know it because we see the celebrities and what they go through. I promise you, you have no clue. It's a completely different world, and that's what they see it as, and that's what their everything revolves around. Period, across the board. So that's one thing you have to take in consideration. And also, again, just you can't trust no one. No one is there in that industry that are working in your true best interest, that really give a fuck. And you can also see, if you watch Kanye West documentary, because I've always been, I was a big Kanye West fan when he first dropped. You know what I'm saying? Like his first two albums. I bought two of them, one to play and one to keep. I still have them to this day, still wrapped up, never touched at all. And then I was like, this dude is bugging out. But then when I watched his documentary thing that he had on Netflix, it completely changed my mind about him. That thing was phenomenal, and I've watched it several times because I really wanted to hear and see what his mother was saying, and you could see the impact that his mother had on his life. I've never seen anything like that. He like, even though he was a grown ass man, he just unbelievable. So I highly recommend you see that and watch that. Um, but yeah, I really believe that the passing of her transition had a humongous impact on his life, and hopefully somebody somewhere he believes that he can trust and everything else life and help him, because I do believe that he's spiraling down. He's spiraling down quick. And, I just feel I support the brother. I support, after watching that documentary. You can't. I don't care. I support all our people. Period. Except for that motherfucker Bad Joe. Fuck Bad Joe. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll let my play.
All right, appreciate that, sister. We kind of took it from Van Jones and Kanye West, though. Like everybody kind of started going with Kanye and stuff, but which is okay. But because I know Van Jones actually spoke, the whole thing about him actually was speaking was actually about Kanye West and the support that or the lack of support that they didn't get from the black community or whatever. So I know it was pretty much his whole talking point was built around the black people not speaking up when Kanye West made these remarks and stuff like that too. So, but I still want to kind of because we're gonna be closing out soon, so I'm gonna let a couple more speakers. But I kind of want to still focus on like the actual topic of Van and Kanye. I mean, I'm sorry, but Van Jones and just the racism and the hatred and stuff that we have on these college campuses and high school campuses as well too. So I think Black Native and Leon are gonna probably be our final two speakers for tonight. Black Native, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I was going to say, because I watched the documentary with Kanye, and the person who was his friend who did the documentary from, his first beginnings, like when he was with Fab Five Freddy until, his mother passed away, maybe he could reach out to him, because it seemed like they had a real close bond with each other. So that's all I'm going to say about Kanye. Now, Van Jones, I remember when Prince was close to Van Jones, and that's kind of when I first noticed Van Jones. He was speaking about Prince and how they were real close with each other, and he was crying. This is when Prince had passed away, and that's kind of what got my attention of Van Jones. And then I started watching CNN, and then I started noticing, I don't know if he was always like that. The changes of him always crying all the time. That was one thing I noticed. And I told my mother, I was like, this guy, man, I have a video of him on my iPhone when the election, at the results of the election, and he sat there and cried. And I was like, oh my God, I can't stand this man. But he's problematic, and I don't think he should have took it upon himself to speak for over 40 million Black Americans, which I think is actually more in number, but we're going to go along with what they keep saying our numbers are. I think that it wasn't his place to do that. And not only what he did was say that we didn't chastise Kanye the way he felt, or the way white people felt that we needed to chastise him. And so, now we're all anti-Semitic when we literally watched you buck break Kanye in front of our eyes, who was considered one of the richest black men in America, and then within a day or two, you took away close to $1 billion to $2 billion. But we are not doing. We should have had his back from people like you all, as Kanye West said is exactly what they did. He said they would what they were going to do, and they did it. So that just made us look at them even more side eye. But yeah, Van Jones is very, very, very problematic, and yeah, I think I'm going to be at in CNN, and he should be required to apologize to us, just like they wanted Kanye to apologize to the Jewish community. He needs to apologize to us, or he needs to step down. That's it. We can no longer allow these people in positions, especially in the media, to try to represent us as a whole. That we have to stop that. Him, Roland Martin, who else? Stephen A. Smith, um, Al Sharpton, who else is in the media? All of these so-called black, I don't know, they're not our leaders, but people that are in media, they need to be held to a higher standard, and we need to make sure that when they speak about black issues, they need to actually be on point and not just come up with their own opinions about it. And so that's really all I want to say about Van Jones. We need an apology, and if we don't get an apology, we want him to step down. That's just it. And I'll let my point.
All right.
No, we don't want his apology. We want him to just step down.
All right.
Okay, well, we just want him to step down then.
Let's go ahead and kick it to Leon. Leon, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, thanks again. I wasn't really was going to come back up, but I was on the Twitter streets, and I'm reporting this from what I saw, article piece from the Shade Room, saying that Van Jones now is backpedaling on that he did not say such things of apology, and the tiny hat Jacob Cornblaw is now he's saying, "Oh, I misquoted Van Jones. He didn't say that he apologized." So now, as you see, now they're all backpedaling because the Twitter streets have spoken and they are shook. So I just wanted to give y'all that news. I'll land there.
So he decided to go ahead and switch it up a little bit now. Good, like you say, he started catching all that heat from all over, like you say, social media and the internet, and then all of a sudden now they backtracking. So that's good. That's good that they apply some pressure on them and stop trying to generalize black people. Like they don't want to generalize these other races and these other ethnic groups. Stop trying to generalize us all the time as well too. So thank y'all. That's gonna probably be it for the night. We had a pretty good space.
Before you end, did you speak about Kyrie Irving and the Nets letting him go?
The Nets let him go?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
They did, bro.
Yeah, they let him go.
Oh Lord, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they let him go. But the thing with the brother said, see, they can no longer, dictate how we should and shouldn't feel and how we should and should respond. They tried it with Kyrie. They backpedal. Now you got crying Van Jones backpedaling. That's a good thing. But yeah, they let him go. Maybe you might want to speak about that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I know like Nike. I know Nike like cut their relationship with him, but I didn't know that the Nets actually that happened today.
I think it was yesterday. It might be Nike, but I saw somewhere where they said the Nets.
Yeah, I think.
If I'm not mistaken, either it's Nike or it's the Nets.
It's Nike. It's Nike.
So is it Nike? Because I could have swore I saw something where it said the Nets let him go. That was it was earlier today or it was yesterday.
No, it's not the Nets, sis. Because if that was the Nets, that should be the biggest news.
What? Yeah, I would have heard about it had it been the Nets. Like,
No, it was Nike.
yeah,
It's Nike.
that space we would have had a space on that tonight about the Nets letting them.
My bad.
Oh no, you good, sister? Yeah, had that happened tonight, like had that happened yesterday, yeah, we would have had a space. We'd have had to fit that in with the Herschel Walker and the Warnock space last night as well too, because that would have been major breaking news right there. Even in the world of sports, that would have been one of the top stories in news period all over the world. So yeah, but yeah, Nike went ahead and that's not surprising. pretty much know that in terms of him being able to get endorsements and stuff right now, he offended the wrong people. So hopefully he just keeps signing these big contracts. He's got money in the bank and stuff like that, because in terms of being a marketable figure with merchandise and things of that nature, it's pretty much a wrap for him. He's not gonna get any major endorsers anymore because he pissed off the wrong people. DJ, go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and let Ray go ahead. And then I'm gonna let you go ahead, DJ, and then we're gonna close it out for the night.
I'll be real quick. So we're talking about basically, I heard you say something about racism on like college campuses. Well, this is happening in college. But when I was in high school, there was a child named Kendrick Johnson. I've said this before in this space. He was he was killed, but he was allegedly beaten by this guy, and his body was rolled up in the gym mat and all this other stuff, man. So stuff like this, it just isn't happening in college campuses and things like that. This has also happened in the in the high school, because the year I graduated, I never forget the seniors thought it'd be, how you do senior pranks, it's supposed to be funny. They actually took black baby dolls and hung up from there. Like there was a huge tree outside right before walking to the building, if you can imagine it. And yeah, they decided to take black baby dolls and hang them up as a senior prank. So yeah, like I said, this stuff has been going on. This is in 1955. This was 2005 when I graduated high school. And yeah, things like that are still going on in America. I land there.
All right, yeah, and Pete, that happened with Kendrick. That happened not what was that in Valdosta? Because I know we started getting reports of that in Tallahassee as well too.
Yeah, that was in Valdosta at Lowndes High School. That was my old high school. I know exactly where he got killed at, because I used to be the old gym where everyone used to go shoot hoops.
Yeah.
Is that the one that found stuff with newspaper in his body and his organs was missing?
Yes, that is the one that they found with the newspaper, which is crazy because the guy that actually did the embalming or whatever, I went to school with him too. His name is Antonio Harrington. He actually owned the funeral home, Harrington Funeral Home, where they did preparing the body. And Antonio is married to my cousin Felicia. We call her Jelly. So it's crazy because I know all these people. Obviously they're not talking about it because it was a major case, but just to be that kind of close to it. Because I went to a church when I was going to church with Kendrick's aunt. He has an aunt named Lydia Tooley. I used to go to church with her. I'm sorry, I'm starting to ramble. I land there.
No, you good. Empress, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get something in real quick. Let's go ahead and get it in about a minute. Then we're gonna kick it to the co-host and close out the space.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you for hosting these spaces and keeping us informed and us being able to have these intelligent conversations. One thing I just really wanted to add to it is that we have to put our demands in writing. I think about the times where when Trump said BS about, I believe it was the Asians. You know what I'm saying? They put it in writing and submitted the letter to the media, and it spread like wildfire. So if we have demands for apologies or anything, we have to put it in writing as a collective statement and submit it to the media, or even just get it to trend on Twitter so they can just grab it so much so they have no choice but to grab it. But I think that we need to put it in writing, make it known that we're not standing for this. So it's good to tweet and talk about it and everything else like that, but we want more attention to it so that it can make it happen. We want an apology, or we want him to resign. It needs to be put in writing. Our demands. These are our demands, and we're not playing no games. Because this is what other groups of people do. They do it all the time, and it works every single time. So I think it's we just need to start focusing on trying new things, trying everything. So I land my plan. I wish you all a very good night.
Thank you.
Peace, light, love, power, and reparations to you all.
Thank you, sister. We appreciate that, and the same to you as well. DJ, go ahead and get everything you got to get in, because after that, I'm gonna go ahead and say my 2 cents, and we're gonna close it out for the night.
Nah, you know the rules, man. We agree to agree. So, with that being said, Van Jones need to be fired because this ain't the first time he's been crying about white people being done wrong. But he'll never cry when we get done wrong. So his ass got to go. Also, what was the purpose of Jeff Bezos giving you that $100 million? Couldn't he just gave it to you just to give it to you? Ain't no white man doing that shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Same thing with Senator Cory Booker when Facebook gave him that $100 million for the no schools. Whatever happened to the money, Booker? You know what I'm saying? Because the schools ain't improving. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. And at the end of the day, you know, Van Jones, you can't speak for all black people because, and especially when it comes to surrounding these Jewish people, the same folks that had all the investment and involvement in the transatlantic slave trade. So we don't owe these people no apology for not sticking up for people who were being anti-Semitic to them. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these Jews. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They never done anything for the black community. I'm from fucking North New Jersey. All they do is come over here, buy up the houses, and fucking kick us up out of it. So, fuck Raj Kumbaraka, the mayor of North too. You know, this motherfucker over here selling us out while people are running around homeless in the streets of North. This joker is selling all the properties that go back to the bank and to the city. He's selling it to the LLC boys, what we know them as the foreign investors. So we don't owe nobody no apology. If anything, they owe us an apology. And I agree 100% what Sister Empress just said there at the end. We gonna make these folks apologize. And here's how we do it, yo. I want everybody to get on your phone right now and come over here to Twitter to the search button and look for Blood Pack, BLOODPAC. And that's, our organization, our Anti-Defamation League. You know what I'm saying? So whenever anybody got something to say, we're going to be coming up with these letters of termination, and everybody going to sign it. Same thing with the what do you call it, the change.org. We need to start having folks that are dedicated to being on those type of sites, making petitions for us, so that way we can turn around and link them back to our folks. Everybody get on this shit, sign this shit immediately, and get this Joker Van Jones up out of here. And not just Van Jones, Shaq, you Coon. You know that you might not have known that the Hebrews, the Negroes, was at the Cityplex 12 on Springfield Avenue in North. But you opening your mouth going against a black man, see how that shit backfired on you, dog? So you embarrassed North, you embarrassed the Brick City, you know what I mean? And we ain't having that shit either. Don't pull up to no cookouts, no summer festivals, no Lincoln Park, no Wigway Park, none of the parks. Don't pull up to none of the parks because we don't want you around. You know what I'm saying? So, and shout out to Kyrie Irving, you know what I mean? He looked out for our sister-in-law so she could hopefully get her nephew up out of jail, in which he's being wrongly accused and incarcerated against as well. Just as well as we got another sister, Tanisha Johnson, her husband, Maurico Johnson, is most likely being accused and being held against his own will in a Commonwealth state known as Pennsylvania. And at the end of the day, we need to start making sure that us here in this chat are up on these type of things. So everybody, when you get a chance, go look up buyourBlood.org, BYOURBLOOD.org, buyourBlood.org. Get up in there, sign up, study the research. Also, the leaders as the last talking point, because I'm really getting sick at this point, because y'all know I'm about my reparations. That's all I want to talk about, because I need my motherfucking money. I'm a single individual out here with no family. You know what I'm saying? I'm by myself out here, so I need my fucking break. You know what I mean? AKA my inheritance, better known as our 40 acres in the middle. So with that being said, if there's on buyourBlood.org, there's a reparations opt-out form. So for you Freeman niggas that's saying, oh, reparations is begging and it's a handout and it's welfare, get a job, nigga, you're slow. Hey, look, I'm going to need you to sign that form, dog. You know what I'm saying? So that way we know what to do with your share of the money. You know what I mean? So if you don't want your reparations, you can get up there, buyourBlood.org, scroll down, you'll see the reparations opt-out form as big as day. You know what I mean? And sign it, go and email it back. So that way when we go for this federal, the state ain't really nothing. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody looking at California, that's on the 30,000. That ain't nothing. It ain't even enough to buy a house out in California. Average price of a house in certain parts of California is bare minimum $500,000. So what the hell is 30,000 going to do? That's just a down payment. So if anything, hopefully that rep task force out in California is working on some type of way to have those payments of 230,000 reoccurring every year for the next 10, 20 years. Okay, then we looking at something. But if it's just a one-time payout for 230,000 for housing discrimination, well, shit, we ain't gonna be able to live in California. So they basically giving you 230K just to get the fuck out of California, which may not be a bad thing. Come East Coast black people, yeah, I know we settled the West. Bass Reeves is the original cowboy. He's a Negro.
So at the end of the day, you're gonna have to come back to where our ancestors originally migrated from, and that's the East Coast, Northeast. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I know California is California, Arizona, black people out there doing what they're doing, Texas or whatever, so forth. If y'all looking to move, come back East Coast so that way we can take over these take over these states and turn them into a black state of America. And that way we won't have to worry about the bitch ass Van Joneses, the Shaq speaking out against us. We won't have to worry about that because the only way you're going to get on is through us. See that? These folks get on through these Jewish people. So they be scared to speak out and go against the grain like Kyrie or Kanye because they're going to lose their bread. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to come back down into the slums with us niggas. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to remember what it was like eating that welfare cheese. You know what I'm saying? Or not having anything to eat at all. They don't want to remember that. You know what I mean? But completely forget about the rest of us that's still going through the struggle. And with that being said, make sure y'all pop up on Juneteenth weekend. Reparations2023.com. Reparations2023.com. And again, reparations2023.com. Fill out your RSVP form. And even if you may not be coming, we just want to get a proper head count. So that way, you ain't got the trolls and the coons and the bitch ass Negroes up here on tweet saying, oh, it was only 300 people at the Richmond Street rally. You know what I mean? Y'all saying it was 3,000. You know what I mean? Shut your bitch ass up, son. You know what I mean? What did you do to help? Nothing. So with that being said, reparations2023.com. Newstoter, will see you tomorrow.
Real talk, man. That was a good way to close it out. Is going to be a late night space tonight, or you going to hold that off to tomorrow?
We on, son. Let's get it.
Late night space, y'all. As always, DJ and them, they're going to be going in. And for all the people that's early birds that like to go to bed early and whatnot, hey, he starts to space up soon enough. Y'all can come through and hang out for a little bit too. So y'all support. I know we got some night owls up in this space as well too. So y'all make sure y'all come through and support. I'm gonna come through, man. Last night, like I told you, and this morning, I had I don't know what was going on. I had to get on the actual web browser. I kept trying to get on the app. I did the all-in-one a bunch of times. I cleared the storage. I cleared the cache. I restarted the phone. And I was listening. I'd be listening to whatever. Everything was going cool, and all of a sudden it started talking about you losing connection and stuff like that. So I don't know what kept happening last night and this morning. For last night, for the longest, I was going straight, and then after a while, when your girl was in there, she was talking up a storm. It's like I tried to keep coming back on, and I had to go to web browser. But only thing with the web browser, if you get on that, it's like you don't have the actual, I can't raise my hand or anything. All I can do is just listen. I can't request to speak or anything like that. So I don't see the emojis to click, anything like that. So I don't know what's going on.
Sometimes when you turn your phone off, you need to turn it off and let it stay off for at least 5 minutes and then turn it back on. Sometimes you got to do a straight hard reset.
Okay. Yeah, I may have to just go ahead and do that, man. Like I say, last night, I kept trying to, I was like, okay, well, let me turn it off and let me do this and let me do all of that. And yeah, nothing was working. So definitely I'm going to be up in the.
I was trying to come in there, man, and kept saying connection or something.
That's what I kept getting. I kept getting that last. And this morning too, when they were still going this morning, I went in there and I had to go. Like I said, the only way I could get on was to go in the web browser. When I tried the app, and when you're on the web browser, it doesn't have the features. It's like I couldn't request to speak, anything like that. I couldn't do any of the emojis, anything like that. So all I could do was listen. And if I wanted to speak or whatever, or even clap, I couldn't do anything. So I was just stuck.
Hey, who was that woman in there talking? Because I got
What? This chick was talking of a store. I mean, she took the whole conversation. I was like, good Lord, like, holy. Yeah.
I don't think I ever seen her up in the internet spaces before. Because when I was looking, I said, I don't think I ever seen her. She was somewhat new.
Man, she was talking up a storm, bro. Everybody, yeah. I was like, damn. Hey, man, DJ, you got your hand back up, man. Go ahead.
Now, we'll talk about it in another space because it is a technical thing. But, yeah, we'll talk about it in another space. Come on up.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and go through that, man. Y'all, thank y'all once again for coming out and supporting the space tonight. Really great space again. Van Jones. We'll expect to see Van Jones crying again. Then he got to go ahead and cash that check that his daddy, Jeff Bezos, wrote for him. So the tear ducts, they're going to continue to flow. He's going to continue to paint black people as this and that or whatever. He's going to always be CNN's annual seasonal boy. So he's going to do exactly what they tell him to do as well. And the nationalism, the racism that we see on college campuses is escalating. I'm always getting articles on Newstoter. I go ahead and I tweet them out. I had a bunch of different articles too, but after a few months, after about 6-7 months, we have to clear out some of those old articles just to have space on the website so it doesn't slow it down so much. So yeah, expect to see that as well too. It's unfortunate, but this is what's going on. White supremacy is running rampant in the educational system as well too. And it's just not like Professor and Ray said, it's just not on the college levels. In high school, we see it in middle school, we see it in elementary. So it's all around us, it's eating us up and whatnot. Guys, make sure y'all go ahead and y'all subscribe. Please subscribe to the actual Newstoter YouTube channel. Help us grow the YouTube channel. We need to try to get to 1,000 followers. We about at 500 and something. We need to go ahead and get to 1,000 followers. Make sure if you're in the space, make sure that you're following Newstoter here on Twitter. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram as well too. If you got an Instagram account or Facebook account, any social media platform that you're on, we need you to go ahead and follow us. Follow us, follow us, follow us, follow us. Make sure you continue to support the content. And even more important, make sure you visit newstoter.com daily. Go ahead and just surf and check the website out. Check what articles. We can go ahead and we can connect you to the article. You'll be connected to other Black-owned websites and businesses and everything else. Also, mainstream websites as well, too, we curate news from. So definitely make sure that you're checking newstoter.com out daily. Also, if you can afford it, please support us on Cash App. Please support us on Cash App. Think about at least donating $1 to Newstoter if you got it to give. That's $ Newstoter. That's $ Newstoter. If you don't have a actual Cash App, then you can support us on PayPal or Facebook as well too. So with that said, we're gonna get ready to head out of here and we're gonna go to DJ space tonight. So hopefully we'll see all you guys there. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. Y'all have a good night and thank you once again for coming.
Peace, peace.